All right, let's dive into one of the most powerful chapters in Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We're talking about his 10-step guide to waking up that financial genius he says is hiding inside every single one of us. You ready?
Kiyosaki kicks things off with this quote, and honestly, it says it all. The idea is that opportunities to build wealth aren't some rare thing. They're literally all around us. The problem? Most of us just haven't trained our minds to see them. It's all about changing your perception.
So what is this financial genius? Well, he calls it the sleeping giant. It's that part of you that can see the gold, but it's been lulled to sleep. Why? Because we're all taught the same thing. Go to school, get a good job, and work for money. We're never taught how to make our money work for us. To wake that giant up, you've got to stop playing by the old rules. You need a new game plan.
And this isn't just some vague motivational talk. No, Kiyosaki lays out a super clear, structured path. He gives us 10 specific pillars that are designed to build your financial vision so you can finally see those opportunities that have been sitting right in front of you this whole time.
Okay, so let's get into the first and probably the most important part of this whole journey. Before you can change a single thing you do, you have to change what's going on up here in your head. It all starts with your inner mindset.
This right here is pillar number 1, the power of spirit. You need a why that is way stronger than any obstacle. And notice the 2 columns here. It's not just about what you want. It's this powerful combo of what you absolutely don't want, like being stuck in the rat race, and what you desperately do want, like total freedom. That mix right there, that's your emotional fuel. And that leads us straight into pillar 2, the power of choice. Kiyosaki says that every single dollar that comes into your hands is a vote. It's a vote for your future. With that $1, you're choosing to be rich, poor, or middle class. It's a choice you make every day, and it starts by educating your number 1 asset, your mind.
And this little story just illustrates the point perfectly. A friend of his gets his apartment robbed. The thieves take the TV, all the electronics, but they leave every single book behind. And the takeaway is so clear, right? Most people value entertainment. The wealthy value education. It's a fundamental difference in priorities.
Okay, so once you've got your head in the right space, it's time to actually build the blueprint for action. This next part is all about the practical, real-world habits you need, and just as important, the people you surround yourself with. Now, this covers pillars 3 and 4, association and learning. First up, pillar 3 is all about who you listen to. You got to be careful of those chicken littles, the people who are always screaming, "The sky is falling." Their fear can literally cost you a fortune. Then, pillar 4 is about becoming what you study. Kiyosaki talks about how he turned a $385 seminar into millions. It's proof that investing in your financial education is the absolute fastest way to change your income.
Now we get to what Kiyosaki says is the single most difficult pillar to master, self-discipline. And this right here, this is how most of us operate. You earn your money, you immediately pay the government and all your bills, and then you try to save whatever little bit is left over at the end. Sound familiar? But just look at this. The Rich Dad flow completely flips that on its head. You earn your income, and the very first bill you pay is to yourself. You put money into your asset column first. Now, I know that sounds absolutely terrifying, but the psychology here is brilliant. The pressure from your bills and creditors breathing down your neck forces your financial genius to wake up and get creative to find new ways to make money. It literally turns your fear into fuel and focus.
He actually calls this defending fort assets. You treat your investments like a fortress that can never ever be touched. That pressure from the bills isn't a sign to raid your savings, it's an alarm bell screaming at you to get smarter and create more cash flow.
So once you've built that foundation, you've got the mindset, you've got the blueprint, then you can move on to mastering the more advanced strategies. This is the investor's game. This brings us to pillar 6, the power of good advice. You know, it's funny. People will happily tip a waiter 20% on a meal, but then they'll complain about paying a good broker a tiny 3% commission. A good broker isn't an expense. They're your eyes and ears in the market. They make you money, and paying them well is one of the smartest investments you can make.
And that leads to pillar 7. For a sophisticated investor, the first question isn't, what's my return on investment? It's, how fast do I get my initial investment back? See, they focus on the return of their capital before the return on their capital. Because once you get your original money back, the asset you still own is, well, it's basically free. Pillar 8 shows you how to use this thinking for luxuries. Instead of just buying a car, a friend had his son invest $3,000 until it grew into $6,000. Then the son bought the car with the profits. He got the car, and he still had the original $3,000 to keep investing. See, that's how you become a master of money, not a slave to it.
The last two pillars are really about your philosophy. Pillar 9 is the power of heroes. You find people who are already masters, like a Warren Buffett, and you study them. Suddenly, what seemed impossible starts to feel achievable. And finally, Pillar 10 is the power of giving. This one's a paradox. Whatever you feel you're lacking, whether it's money, knowledge, or connections, give it away first. Kiyosaki promises it creates a vacuum that the universe will fill, and it'll come back to you in buckets.
So, let's wrap all this up. This isn't about making one giant, life-changing decision. It's about all the little, tiny choices you make every single day with your money, with your time, and with your focus. And that really leaves us with this final, incredibly powerful question. Your financial future isn't decided by how big your paycheck is. It's decided by your philosophy. What's in your head determines what's in your hands. So, with the very next dollar you get, what choice are you going to make?